Concerning this issue of burial ceremony. Having talked about burial ceremony in the Old Testament, we have come to the New Testament dispensation to explain how burial ought to be, how they also carry out their own burial activity. So in the Old Testament, where we just concluded in our previous video, we discovered that in the Old Testament, they embark on embalmment and also they mourn for the corpse before burial. But now in the New Testament dispensation, those things were not applicable. Let's see the book of Luke chapter 9 from verse 58. Look at what happened there. And it came to pass that as they went in the way, a certain man said unto him, Lord, I will follow thee whithersoever thou goest. And Jesus said unto him, farewell. He said, farewell, host. Now look at what happened. And he said, bird of the air, have nest, but the Son of Man had nowhere to lay his head. Verse 58. And he said unto another, follow me. But he said, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father. Verse 60, Jesus said unto him, let the dead bury their dead, but go thy way and preach the kingdom of God. Verse 61, and another also said, Lord, it will follow thee, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell, which are at home at my house. Verse 62, and Jesus said unto him, no man, having put his hand on the plow and looketh back, is fit for the kingdom of God. This is burial in the New Testament. The first fellow, one of the disciples or the followers of Christ, lost his father. At point, he wanted to go and bury the father. Christ said, no. Christ said, go. Another one said, I will go and say farewell. He said, go. Another one said, let me go and tell my people farewell. Christ said, the first person, he said, allow the dead to bury their dead. Now, in conclusion, he said, no man puteth his hand on a plow and looketh back his feet for the kingdom. Now, these ones want to go and bury the father, meaning that you have preserved the father for embalmment. You preserve the father, preserve the corpse. Then you go and bury. Christ said, allow the dead to bury the dead. Now, let's just go and do the work of God. Let's just go for the evangelistic mission. Forget about the dead. What happened? As soon as the death is being pronounced dead, immediately you bury. The people that embark on burial ceremony that Christ was talking about is the sinners. When you talk about allow the dead to bury their dead, you're talking about the sinners. Allow the sinners to bury their dead. It's the sinners, the publicans, the Jews. These are the people that esteemed high burial ceremony. So these are the people that esteem high the burial ceremony. But you as a believer, that is why the Bible said, the soul that sinneth shall die. The sinners are the people he was referring to, the dead. He said, let the dead bury their dead. Talking about the sinners, allow the sinners to bury their dead. It's only the sinners that esteem high death, that value death, that value corpse, organize ceremonies for corpse. It is only the sinners. That's why I like the sinners to bury their dead. As a believer, you don't need it. As soon as the person dies immediately, you bury. Now we are coming back again to defend that. Those of the apostles of old, how they were buried as soon as they died. Thank you for this mission.